Hey everybody, it's Scoots. I'm just working on this time capsule. I'm gonna sand it and then prime it. And if you have any questions about it, you can ask me. I will have to wear a mask during this, so that's a good example. So if you see me wearing a mask, thanks, Nikki. Hey, it might be that's what it's gonna look like when I have the mask on, because I have to set a good example for kids. Um, so cool. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm just going to try to be on here for about 15 minutes or so. Nikki, how did you discover the podcast? Since you're the hi, fun with Owen. All right, so I'm gonna have a mask on. Thanks, Nicole. Hey, Christine. So this is just set a good example for kids. And I'm just here. This is just because this is plastic, and that way it'll. Actually, I don't. I'm not kicking up a lot of dust, so I'll just wear this when I paint. This is just so that the paint will stick to the plastic. Thanks, Sally. So hey, everybody, I'm trying to follow the chat. So and do this at the same time. I'm outside. Hey, Frankie. Hey, Sepavance. I'm just, what surfers say. I'm just, what is this called? Sand in the tube, So this will be the tube that will become the time capsule. Within this time capsule will be a scroll with everyone who's contributed to helping keep the podcast going. You could use the link to go to Patreon to find out more. If you've been a patron in the past or you're a current patron, you'll get a survey at the beginning of November. If you supported the show by supporting the sponsors or buying the merch, I think there was, bad idea. Just use that. Thanks, Frankie. Oh, thanks. This is Figment from Journey into the Imagination. Christine, I'm just doing one step at a time right now. Christine asked, what kind of paper is the scroll going to be? Oh, by the way, it's for people checking this out later. It's, October 20th at like 4:35 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're asking a question, I'm not responding to it. Because it's not live. Christina, I'm going to go in and talk to a printer about that. Like right now, that's like, I'm not going to figure out the paper until after it's done, but I assume I'll use some sort of archival paper with archival ink. And I'm going to use a local printer for that. But that's a couple steps ahead. Like right now, I want to get... So yeah, that's part of the process. But yeah, ideally it'd be archival paper and archival ink or paper that would last a long time. Hey Laura, hey Steve. Feel free to ask any questions though. That's a good question, Christine. I think I saw your question too. I'm not ready. Next weekend is when I'll reveal the color of the tube. So I'll probably paint this next weekend. So that's when we'll review it. Oh, thanks, Frankie. It must be my mask, Safety. I'm like a boring version of Kylo Ren. Safety. Oh, hey, Gal, we haven't taken any names. It's current patrons and former patrons, which is about equal. We have equal amount of former patrons than current patrons, which isn't the greatest thing, but I mean, over a number of years we've had it. And then people that are submitting can submit through that link. But yeah, I haven't started. The survey for patrons won't go out until after November 1st. No. Yeah, Lisa, I've tried. I wanted to do this time capsule a couple other times. I tried to get some momentum going on Patreon maybe a year or two ago for it, and that people just didn't seem. People didn't seem super jazzed about it, so I just didn't follow through. And but now I'm like, oh, this is perfect. The show crossed like 100 million downloads a while ago, and then 800 episodes a little while ago, and so yeah, we're getting this. I don't know if you can see it. We're really getting some good scoring going on this thing, so that's good. This thing already looks thanks, Frankie. Yeah, the new Good Place episode is out. Recorded an intro tonight. Maybe I should have this on. Okay, so also I have a drop cloth. This drop cloth was my what's that thing called? A shower curtain. Former shower curtain. I picked a new shower curtain up at DJ Maxx yesterday because this one's moldy. Don't tell anybody. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this thing down, and then we're gonna get ready to put on the primer. Does anybody got any questions about the podcast or anything? Hit me up. Come here. Go's here, but I'm trying to keep her away from the fumes. My dog. Oh boy. Something else just came up. So somebody was just texting me. Sorry, I got to check this text because it's a school night and stuff. Am I avoiding the Borg ones? Kind of. I think the Borg ones are a little bit archetypally scary, to me at least. But I also like this season. This round of ones just happen to be more related to. Just happen to be. So at some point, I'll do the Borg ones because I find it very interesting. But I do think it adds an extra challenge just because the Borg are a little bit more frightening. Where will it be placed? Where will the time capsule be placed? I think I haven't 100% decided that, Gail, but I think it'll be somewhere secret. But I will have some email trigger to release where it is, just because the podcast, despite being a podcast, I have to deal with a lot of, there's a lot of, I just can't put it somewhere public because there's like some people that can't sleep are not well, and I get like harassed, so like I would be afraid to publicly put where the thing was, because someone might like think it's funny to dig it up and ruin it. Plus, I think I haven't looked into the legalities of it, but I would assume you have to build it on private property, that you have to bury something on private property you have access to. But those are, again, like part of the, it won't get buried, I don't think, until this summer. But yeah, does that answer that question? Thanks everybody that's commenting, and I'm not keeping up with the chat. Let's see. Oh yeah, Howie. It just comes. I mean, I know a lot of people that have it much worse than me. So, it's just a reality with the internet, as Deb said, I think. But I know there's people that get targeted, and I don't get targeted. I just get kind of harassed by a small group of people that aren't well, you know. So let's see. Am I missing anything else? Cole, thank you. Base Beard, thank you. Aviva Vita. Vita, yeah, I mean, my voice hasn't changed, but the first couple hundred episodes I was very scared, so my voice might have been a little bit different, and I didn't have a lot of experience with microphones, so yeah. YouTube live support, is that a real thing? Is that real? Nick, happy birthday, Nick. Happy birthday to Nick. Happy birthday to Nick. Happy birthday, Nick. I don't know if we just got rolled or if this is really YouTube support, but happy birthday to you. All right, I'm going to put on my mask and I'm going to keep spraying, but you can keep hitting me up with questions. Go, you got to lie down. Okay. So So yeah, hope everybody is not bothered by this mask, but safety first, right, kids? Okay, so I'm going to start painting this with primer, but I'll keep watching it. Ya-da-da, it's time for a primer song. Primer can't be wrong. When you're priming, prime along with primer. I'm primarily a luller. A something, something, something. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, primer. Oh, primer. Oh, primer. Oh, primer. Oh, primer. Don't deny mer. Good thing I have a drop of cloth. I should have worn gloves too. When I spray primer from the heart, the color is blue. Hopefully my neighbors aren't listening. Oh, primer. Oh, primer. So yeah, see, getting some primer going. I don't know what it was. Remember, kids, always wear masks. Safety first. Trying to avoid any. This is my first time priming something in a long time. Is it? There's a movie primer, right? Is that the one? Is it Dustin Lance Black movie? Who made Primer? That's a time travel movie, right? Come on, people, let's get some chat going. Yeah, she's pretty far away. El. While you are doing shout outs, I have a shout out for Lady Kara. Somebody cares for you. Optimus Primer, I like that. Yeah. So we've trying to think of anything else. Yeah, it's only this big. So really, I'm thinking we're going to put a. It technically might not be a time capsule because of time capsule purists. I put in the Patreon post a link to some podcasts and stuff. There's like strong feelings about everything, but even about time capsules. So I got to figure out that it might be a tribute to a time capsule. But yeah, I might put like I'll figure out a couple ways to put episodes in here, and we can discuss that as we continue making it. So it'd be like all the podcast episodes could go in there. I don't have a glove though, so this is going to be interesting. But I do have this rag, and I got to do another coat of primer anyway at some point this week. So how's everybody's Sunday going? It's a Monday. Anybody watching? And it's Monday. Anybody got a case of the Mondays? Thanks everybody for coming out to this. You say you watch Sleep With Me podcast is like watching paint dry. Now we're doing it all together. Communal paint drying. Oh, it's Monday in Scotland. I just put my finger. I just put my finger in it. I can't live stream and paint at the same time. So this is only the first coat. We'll do 2 coats of primer. The next weekend we'll do a what do you call that thing? Do the color coat, and then I'll have to figure out at some point how to put signs on this and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. Am I missing up on anything? Salt Lake, Wyoming's closed. Must be rainy in Philly. Yeah. Oh boy. Tubes down. At least that's why I always have drop cloth, especially when you're a renter. Yeah. This is definitely Sleep With Me style, right? Let's see. Tucking in my little nut bar. You had to adult and return the. Oh yeah, that was story of my life. At least now we have primer. Yeah, this is one of those good masks. Totally. Yeah, it might be getting a little fumed up, but not too bad. What? I should have just done it like this the whole time, but so this is a little piece of history. This will be a little piece of history one day, buried in the earth somewhere. Chris is checking in from Texas. Not too bad. If anybody needs anything primed, let me know. I still got about 80%. Is it too easier to buy? I guess like the how-to Spirit Dove that I looked up was how to build your own time capsule, and the one that came up was um, like Popular Mechanics, I think. How much time does it take to make one video? Sleep With Me takes about 100 hours a week to keep going, and that includes like production of two episodes. Two episodes come out a week, but they're produced over a series of weeks. So it doesn't take 50 hours to make it. It takes 100 hours a week, plus other people help out on the show that aren't directly related to it, but probably 100 hours. Maybe there's like more work outside of Sleep With Me to keep the show going. So I guess you could divide that 400 by 8, but that would just be an average. Yeah, I wonder if stickers will last, though. I've thought about that. I think it's interesting, like thinking about these questions of time capsules. I feel a little bit like a cheap version of Walt Disney or something, like a like the lazy version. Say, well, I'm not going to build a theme park. I'm going to spray paint a piece of plastic and put it in the ground. I don't need Roy Disney's help. Let's see. Will I ever change the Mystery Bart song? We change it sometimes, depending on the seasons. Like depending on for seasonal stuff, we change it. S Sha Sasha, is that Sasha 93? I'm happy to help. Uh, let's see. What else? Yeah, I mean, podcasts, like I've been working on it now for be going into the 7th year. So it's like kind of like probably within the first year or two, got to that where I was like, okay, podcasts. I mean, I think like if I could get it to like, if I can get a full-time staffer at some point, I guess I could cut back on my hours, which would be nice. But, or yeah, I probably should cut back on my hours. Oh, Go's crying. It's okay. It's okay. She's just the dog next door wants to play. So here, hit me up with any questions. I'll try to stick around for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Just give Go a little pet. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh yeah, I guess some people have never seen me before. I guess it's hard because I've done the podcast for so long. More talks with clouds. Yeah, I could definitely do that at some point. Good night, Lisa. Okay, go. You're okay. Come over here. I'll stop spraying the paint if you come over. You can come over here. Anybody else have any other questions about the show or anything like that? Thanks, Steve. Yeah, that was like I like clouds. So there's no clouds in the sky here right now, but yeah, oh boy, some strong fumes coming at me. So anybody excited about any movies or anything like that? Ba 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 ba. Trying to check this thing. Definitely. Oh boy. Oh yeah, this side needs a little bit more coating. Okay, you're okay. Okay, do you want to go inside, or do you want to stay here out here? Okay. Huh. I'll have to check it out. I don't know about that movie. Shay away. Oh, thanks, Frankie. We don't do any more. We haven't done any public releases of on location episodes, Dragon, just because they're so kind of, those take even longer to make. So we moved those just to Patreon, just because it wasn't sustainable as far as uh, uh, like putting them out in the public feed. But yeah, I think one of our goals on Patreon is to like be able to do 3 or 4 of those a year. Uh, yeah, I want to see Midsummer. I almost went and saw it, and then I almost went and saw the director's cut. But uh, Has Been Hotel, is that how you pronounce it? Um, so Schitt's Creek, I was in a room with the entire cast last year, and I was so scared that I couldn't talk to any of them except for Catherine O'Hara. She needed to know where the bathroom was, and I showed her where the bathroom was. So that was that was a bit brush with fame there. I waved at them, but yeah, it was. If I was painting, like if I could, I would have been more comfortable talking to them if I was like priming something. Um, okay, cool. Love, yeah, yeah. I just don't have Kate. Like, yeah, I wish I could. But with the editing and the recording, the on location episodes just take so much more labor. Uh, uh, do. Yeah, always have primer. Do I ever go on holiday? I do. So I do. I don't do any like this year. I went on. I worked half time, so instead of the summer for a couple weeks, I worked 40 or 50 hours a week instead of like most. So I'd work from like 6 a.m. till noon, and then a couple hours in the afternoons. So that was like a holiday for me. This year, I'm gonna take a week off. Usually, I take a week off in April. Well, like a half week off because there's just always so much inbound stuff coming in for the show. But I do like to take like a couple weeks off where I'm not producing episodes. That's why I run the all intro episodes during holidays. But yeah, I get some time off. I'll go on holiday with Picard to Risa. I don't think I could handle Risa, but I'd have to go to like the introvert version of Risa. I'm supposed to have this mask on, huh? Cool. Well, I'm at about 5 more minutes on here. If anybody else has any other questions, new Star Trek series, yeah, when does that come out? I'm looking forward to Mandalorian too. Hey Mo, um, thanks Frankie for spreading the word. Hey Carol, uh, yeah, I wish I could do. I've been trying to do more live streams. Like it helps if I have context. Even this one, I thought I would have done it like 2 or 3 hours ago, but then I was like, oh, I got to get the show ready to go out, and then I had to get one last thing done for the show. But yeah, these are fun to be able to check in with everybody, see how everybody's doing. So yeah, I'll try to do more of these live streams on a regular basis because I really appreciate like being able to put. Like to hear people's thoughts or kind of chat or have questions. Oh, look at this thing. This is sometimes I come out here, I read, and I have this little thingamajig. Oh, you can't really see it. It's got lights though. I chill out here. I look at the fog, drink my Four Sigmatic cacao. How you say cacao? And I read some books. Uh, Yeah, I try to do these. I used to try to do these more often, but then it's always like I let my anxiety get in the way. I'm like I can't do a live stream. I got too much other stuff I got to do for the podcast. So happy to help Jen, Steve, Deborah. Oh, you missed it. You want to see a little spray? I'll do a little spray painting for you, Deborah. Let me find a spot. Let me put my mask on in case any kids are watching, or my mom, or my daughter. Yeah. This is more like a nurse's mask. Today's sponsor is 3M for all your painting and do 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 do. You won't be able to see any of the mildew on this shower curtain anymore with this spray paint. Thanks, Mo. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I like it when hearing from people I listen to during the daytime. People like use listen to it to unwind during work or de-stress about stuff. I guess that's the whole idea of the show, right? Is to help people distract them from whatever's stressing them out. Cool. This is pretty good. I might have. So good question. Moratorium. I had it last year, right, or 2 years ago. I have a bag. I'm gonna eat it with my daughter, but I have a bag. I probably should pick up a second bag. I'm gonna have hopefully I'm gonna have dinner with the mystery bard this week. He's working out here, so that's cool. Thanks, Steve. Oh, that's cool that you listen while you're drawing. Yeah, that's really cool for me to know. Do I have time for hobbies? I mean, mostly my hobbies right now are like other podcasts. Like I'm trying to find time to work on like small, tiny other podcast ideas. Do I have any? I have a real time recipe one recorded. I think I recorded one. So it's probably actually. Let me look. I'll just bounce out of here. Let me just look in our production folder here. I think we have. Oh yeah, so we have one recorded. It's probably still like a couple months out. What was the date that got made? September 16th was when it was edited. So probably it might come out before the end of the year or beginning of next year. And then there'll be 3 holiday episodes. They won't be real-time recipes because they'll be fictional stories, but there are recipes in the episodes. Let's see. Dinner with Mystery Bar, hopefully. Yeah. I was serious about those bucket pieces. I mean, in some sense, I seriously thought about it. I think it would be very relaxing and helpful, but I would worry about them being waterlogged. Let's see. Thank you so much for all you do. Thanks, Deborah. Dylan. No, I have not. I mean, I've thought about guests for the show, but yeah, like anything with any dissonance at all gets a very strong audience response. That's not positive. Like any voices, like it would have to be a different, separate podcast and a separate feed to have guests. Just because it would be like most people. I guess I've like spent 6 years setting up this expectation that it's going to be me and the style of the show and stuff that it would just throw so many people off. Like, I mean, if it was like Oprah, I'd have like a special episode or something, but other than that, it would be like it would be tough to pull off. Like, so it'd be something else. It'd have to be like a different podcast or something. I have watched The Boys. I don't know if I could appropriately talk about it here, but I did. I actually really enjoyed it. I loved the casting. I've read I didn't read that comic, but I read another comic that was similar called Irredeemable, which was a different like story, but conceptually asking the similar question of what if these people weren't what if these people with superpowers that were heroic weren't all heroes or whatever. So I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the casting a lot. Laura listens on public transit. That's cool. Yeah, I love listening to podcasts on public transit. should listen to your North Pole, set over some dramatic music. Yeah, let me check let me check with Posty Posterson if he's done that. Um, oh, thanks, Dragon. Yeah, no, I mean, I've been there. Like literally last night, I couldn't sleep, so I know how it feels for the listeners. Like Saturday night, shouldn't have problems falling asleep. I was tired. I read. I was so tired I couldn't keep reading. I shut my book off. I was almost asleep, and then that keystone in my mind opened up and started thinking about stuff, and then I was off to the races. Um, uh, yeah, yeah, I'd love school. Call. I don't think I think I'd be too stressed. Uh, I would be intimidated by Oprah. Um, uh, but yeah, it'd be cool if I could put her to sleep because she's got important work to do. Um, let's see. Oh, Frankie, what did I miss that you said? No, never mind. I must have missed something. Oh, you had to go. Oh, what podcast would I recommend? Oof, I don't even know where to. I would start with like my the podcast that Night Vale presents and Radiotopia. I think like those two groups of podcasts um, offer a pretty broad selection of shows. Um, I don't know, I have so many that I don't think I could it's easier to like be like, oh, what do you like and stuff. It's just gonna look, but yeah. Um, let's see. Can't wait to go to sleep. So that's not a very good answer to the question. I think yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Um, Probably have some celebrity listeners. Yeah, Gail. In the past, we've had people come in and out that I've heard from, and I'm like, holy cow, that person's listening to the podcast. Uh, 2 a.m. Santiago, cool. Um, EL, what is? I didn't see what you said. Doesn't seem fair. Um, uh, cool. Yeah, use those dulcet tones. Oh, that's good that you listen while you're washing dishes. I love listening to podcasts while I wash dishes. What do I listen to go to sleep? No, I don't listen to audio to go to sleep. Yeah, co-snoring. Good ears. Um, um, yeah, Dylan, I did a crossover with Harris from Sleep Whispers, but it was where I like went on his show and he interviewed me kind of, but then it just wouldn't work on my show. Like, like I kind of did a dedication to Sleep Whispers on there. Yeah, Ko's like sound asleep. Now she's looking at me now that I said her name. Um, yeah, thanks. I'll do a lot of work on this deck. I mean, usually not physical work, but podcast work. Uh, cool. I think, did I miss any questions? Oh, that I can't sleep. Not all the time. Oh, it keeps me plugged in. Yeah, Frankie, most of the listeners of the podcast are on podcast apps versus YouTube. Oh, I'm working on something new for YouTube. One, because my channel's demonetized. So, but two, like I've wanted to do something experimental there. So I'm going to work on that. Um, yeah, check out Harris's Sleep Whispers. I went on that show and Harris tried to teach me how to whisper. And then I taught Harris how to like tell goofy stories. Will any of the time capsule podcasts be available? I don't think there's not going to be any, like the only ones going in the time capsule are going to be like all of the historical episodes, but there aren't any time capsule specific podcast episodes. I did record a time capsule themed episode, but I don't think it'll come out. I don't know if it'll be out before 2020. So it won't be out in time with the time capsule. It was just like when I had time capsule on the brain, uh, it, I don't know. Does that answer that question? But yeah, there's no time capsule specific episodes. I would, how about like when we get to 200 million listeners, we'll launch something into space. Cool. All right. Yeah, I got to run. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Hit me up. And hopefully I'll be back. I'll plan on being back next weekend to take on stage 2 and talk more with you. Remember, always wear a mask. thank you so much for listening. Really, like the whole idea of the time capsule is because like I couldn't do it without people that the podcast is helping, but people that are helping back. Um, this came up in another forum I did this past week, but like at two after I'd made the podcast for 2 years, was like it was I was working a full time job and working a lot on the podcast, and I decided to keep making the podcast, and that I wanted to keep making it and make it sustainable over the long term. And the only way I was able to do that was like from listeners taking action to support the show or to come to chats like this and support me emotionally, or let me know, give me feedback or tell me your stories. So without all of you, none of this would be possible. And if it didn't put you to sleep, but it's like all, like I said, like when I can relate, I know how it feels in the deep dark night. That's why I make the show. So yeah, couldn't do it without all of you. Thank you so much, and have a great Sunday or Monday. And I'll talk to you later, or to soon. Thanks. Oh, hit the wrong button there.